Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Straight. I'm welcoming you back with Zack's ogre face. He's been betrayed. I guess this is just the betrayed face. This is what happens in the Straight universe. When you feel like you've been betrayed, you just get really ugly and you just get really unreasonable and you make a big deal out of things that what Braden has done is weird. He's convinced us. He's used prop actors to. We're not even sure what he's done, honestly. So I don't know why we're that upset right now. I'm more confused than anything. Um, I don't know. Well, let's just get back into it. What is this? You said it was from high school. Why are you wearing the singlet I gave you in a picture taken before you got here, Braden? And when Braden saw Zack with Ernie in here, he just got all serious, and he told his friend, I need to do this alone. It was really strange. My frustration doesn't even allow him time to talk. My voice rises as I lose control of tone and pitch. Like, I don't understand how you can get this mad. Yes, he did lie to you, but how can you get this mad? You don't even understand what's happening. Like, I'd be so bewildered and so confused. I'd just be like, what? What's going why? Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Why the anger? Did you lie to me? Did you hide all that stuff in the locker room to try and lead me on and manipulate me? I mean, did that make it easier to lead you on and manipulate you? Leaving his singlet in the locker room so you could give it to him? That's real schizophrenic behavior, honestly. No. You know what? I think you did. The more I connect all these pieces together, I think this is purposeful, just to toy with me. Hey, I connected more pieces than you did. Zack, if you just let me explain. This wasn't it at all. I promise I never meant to hurt you. I don't think I've ever felt victimized in my life, but right now I do. I still don't understand why you all... I feel effing played. Girl, I would be more interested to know why than anything. I need to know why he did it, because none of it makes any sense. I feel like you're just another effing straight boy who took advantage of a random gay dude who was effed up in the head and didn't know what he wanted. I don't know why, probably because you were horny and curious, but this is my life, Braden. I can't change any of this. These feelings are a giant effing cross that I've drug with me my entire life. It's heavy and it's cold, and it's the most alienating thing you could ever imagine. And I've bottled it up for as long as I can remember, for 19 effing years. I hide everything behind the smiles and jokes, and I walk through the day pretending I'm okay. I know I'm my own worst enemy in all of this. I always effing have been, and I've hated it. All of it. Is that how this is going to go down then? Well, it's my life too, we know. You can't seriously think everything we've done together has just been one big joke. Our trip to the beach, our kiss at the pool that night. Is everyone hearing this? So, wrestling members, are you hearing this? Well, what the F am I supposed to think? I know I can't effing trust you anymore, that's for sure. Like, why? Like, such anger. Like, I get it. Braden's crazy, but like, relax, dude. How can I trust that any of it was real? F, Zack. I nearly drowned and faced my biggest fear for you. That wasn't a joke. None of this was ever a joke. It just got messed up. But I'm not going to apologize for things I didn't do. The real stuff was real, and I never want you to think otherwise. But for the first time in my entire life, I let my guard down and I let someone in. Someone that I thought was a friend that I could trust. But I sure as hell didn't need a friend who leaves a trail of trinkets to lead me on and falsely raise my self-confidence while toying with whatever little emotional stability I had left. I mean, he gave us something to do. We were so bored in our dorm room all day. You know, we had fun cleaning up the locker room. I don't understand why it's almost just like a prank than anything. Like, ha, pranked you, bro. Got you to clean the locker room for no reason. Like, honestly, I mean that's actually a very tame prank. It's not like those terrible YouTubers. It's just like a very tame prank. You know? I don't know. That's just what I think. My hate echoes in the silence. Finally, I hear Ashley snicker from the back of the gymnasium. I knew Braden was a closet freak. I totally called that back in the sauna. Anger briefly flashes in Braden's eyes. Don't pretend like you're innocent and blame me for all of this, Zack. Oh no, is he gonna bring it back to when I peeped on him during the night? Ah. Ooh, okay. Granted, I did do that. But in my defense, I thought you were asleep. I didn't think they would ever come back to bite me. Oh lord, oh god, oh lord, this is awkward. Did I already read this line? You're the one who touched me first when I was sleeping. Did I say, I don't know if I said it out loud or read it twice or what. My face flushes with warmth. Oh, crap. You touched him while he was sleeping, Zack? What the F? That's kinky. I've seen videos like that, but I thought they were fake. The camera's always shaky though, and that pisses me off. Sometimes you can shake your head at the same speed as the camera to make it less blurry. We both turn towards Ashley at the same time and simultaneously tell him to shut the F up. Ash, go. I'm not going to tell you again. I know you mean well, but there's no way we can have this conversation with you interjecting all the time. For real. Fine, I gotta follow up on this text message anyway. But I want to go on record as saying you're both freaks, and you're probably meant for each other because you're both nasty. Oh my god. Literally, this, like, the from the mouth of babes, honestly. And he's a babe. Ashley storms off towards the back door and disappears behind it. I mean, he acts like a little kid, so... I pause for a few, noticing a small crack open in the door, large enough for eavesdropping. Ash. I hear him swear before the door slams behind him with finality, echoing uncomfortably through the entirety of the empty gymnasium. I look up at Braden, trying my best to hold an intimidating gaze fueled by lies and chaotic experience of trying to solve an emotional mystery with Ashley, but my features surrender into a pathetic and vulnerable expression. Sorry I yelled at you. Braden gives me one last look, exposing his own doubts and insecurities. This has been eating at me for months. The me peeping on you while you were asleep, or the you lying to me and getting me to clean the locker room and give you your singlet that you left there. He walks past me and collapses onto a stack of wrestling mats at the heart of the room. He stares vacantly away from me. His voice is hollow and monotone. What do you want to know? All of it. I want to know what's going on. Braden sighs heavily. I don't really know how to answer that, Zack. Well, you need to try, because right now I'm effing broken. I pause, realizing the implications here. Realizing the severity of the accusations. We both yelled at each other. So this is also like, because I think I said at the start of the first video, at least for this section of this update for Straight, I said it matters whether you chose the pervy / non-pervy route, and I chose the pervy one, obviously. And so I'm gonna have to replay this and see how much it changes for the non-pervy parts. So I'm curious, you know, how that's gonna work out, because the power dynamic will be shifted a lot more in Zack's favor, because he won't have done anything. How the F does he know I touched him? Because apparently he was awake, sis. Like, what? This could cost us everything. What kind of question is that? He was awake. That's why I was so afraid to say anything before, so it just festered inside of me. I hear Braden sigh heavily again. I don't have this conversation planned out. I tried in my head 100 times, but nothing ever made sense, and no matter what I said, I felt like I always sounded like a monster. But I don't think I'm a bad guy. And I don't think you are either, even though you really violated my consent that night. I don't know. I felt a certain way, and I don't even know how to explain it, or how it really got to that point. I want to respond, but I'm not even sure what to ask. So I guess I'll start at the beginning. Months ago, when we first met, we were sitting in the cafeteria that first night. We were just sorta bullcrapping, and you told me that you weren't straight. At the time, you didn't really give me specifics, but I assumed that you seemed comfortable with it. I never really had feelings for guys, but hearing that piqued my interest in you. It piqued my interest in sharing a room with a guy who had a completely different perspective on what was attractive and sexual and all that. So I wanted to know more. The more I talked to you, the less you fit the stereotype. And I think that just made me more curious because it was so unique, and I've never seen anything like you before. You've never seen a non-flamboyant homosexual? I know you said that it made it harder for you to feel like you really fit in anywhere, but it's something that I thought made you really unique. The more times we shared, I just got more attached, and at some point, that just started to blur, and I was strangely okay with that. I know I said that people joke about experimenting in college, but I think I accidentally used that as an excuse at some point, and I crossed a line. Braden suddenly turns around and looks me dead in the eyes. I know you touched me. Oh god, our bad decisions are coming back to haunt us. I know you touched me that one night, and most people would think that's weird, but when we really get down to it, that was impulsive. I don't understand why you did it. Besides, I liked it. Okay, so then it's all okay. You liked it. You guys hear that? He liked it. We both have secrets, and I'm tired of lying to you. I casually sit next to him, a noticeable space still between us. It almost feels symbolic and allegorical. But when all the dust settles and I've answered all your questions, I think you'll realize that you were never the pervert here, even after I touched you while you were sleeping. Oh, you don't want to know all the things that I did to you when you were actually sleeping and not just pretend sleeping like you were that night. It was me. Well, we kind of knew that. I've been calling that since day one. Have I not been saying that since day one? What episode of Straight is this? This is like 60? 70? I have no idea what episode this is. I'll have to look back when I'm editing this, but seriously, like, go back a year and a half ago, that was me in the stream saying, this guy, he knows exactly what he's doing, he's getting into his underwear, he's trying to turn on Zack. We knew. So, what do you want to know? Alright, well, I guess I'll choose the one choice. Thank you, game. So, the thermostat in the room. Yeah, why did you go through all this weird... Why? Yeah. Ashley pieced together that you should have known how to fix that instead of me. You helped your dad with all the house building stuff or whatever, right? And somehow Ernie knew exactly what tool to use to fix it, even though he'd never actually seen what was wrong with it. And why the leotard? Like, I don't understand why you wanted Zack to give you the leotard. Why couldn't you just you wear your own damn leotard? Like, what? I don't get it. Did I even read Zack's line? Yeah, I can't believe it took you this long to catch on to that. Okay, I don't know what the attitude is for. I frown in frustration. What's that supposed to mean? Okay, that came out wrong. I didn't mean it like that. I'm not being cocky or a smartass or anything. That's just one of those areas where I think things would have gotten resolved if you called me out on it earlier. It's just another one of those initially harmless things that just kept spinning out of control. So what happened? In all honesty, I messed with the thermostat a few times. That's mostly why the temperature was only different when I got home before you did. I think it started because the first day that the temperature went crazy just led to more bonding between us. What? What do you mean? You said something about walking around the room butt naked or something, and that just appealed to me. Oh my god, you... Wait, it did? Not like that. He exhales loudly. It echoes into the rafters. See, I told you, I don't have this planned out or anything. No, I didn't initially F with the thermostat to see you naked in the room. To be honest, you were already sleeping in your underwear before that anyway. I think some of it just went back to my own initial insecurities with my own body, and I realized I was going to have to eventually overcome that. I trusted you, and I think just having a gay roommate seemed like an opportunity to do that. Two straight guys in a room would either be way too bro or toxically macho, where one would complain when the other one was briefly changing or something. I didn't want stupid accusations about being gay thrown around in the room. Some straight guys do that. But with you, it seemed like an opportunity to slowly get more comfortable with my body in a controlled environment, with only one person. Not like the locker room where there's a dozen people in there. Here in college, we're stuck together in a small room with virtually no privacy at all. Unless I get dressed under the blanket, you're going to see something. I mean, I think you said it yourself, that it was only a matter of time before we walked in on one another doing something embarrassing. Yeah. So I messed with the thermostat, because it seemed like an opportunity for us to get loose in the room, and for me to slowly get more comfortable with my own body. So you messed with it all those times? No, not every time. It originally messed up on its own that first night, which is where I got the idea in the first place. In hindsight, it seemed like a stupid idea, but I guess sometimes when we're desperate for something, we do desperate or stupid things that don't exactly make sense later. I nod, unable to really argue with that at all. But no, I didn't mess with it every time, which is why I honestly don't think we were responsible for the fire in the first place. Mikhail even said that was a known issue at the university, and they kinda ignored it. He said he had the same problems with the heat in the building when he lived there. So this entire time you were more worried about the thermostat being more associated with what you did than it actually causing the fire? Actually, yeah. I built enough houses to know that the thermostat was already effed up long before we did anything to it. There's no way the adjustments we did were enough to have any significant impact and actually cause a fire that size. If it did, then the problem was somewhere else. Most likely the electrical problems that the news was hinting at. So, what do you want to know? Time to pick another choice, Zack. Yeah, this singlet is just so weird. What's the point? So what about the singlet? I mean, I still don't feel like I got a full explanation why... For the thermostat, I don't feel like I still got a full explanation why you had Ernie give Zack a pep talk on trying to fix it himself. Like, what was the... I still don't understand the point of that. I understand why you were fiddling with it yourself, Braden, but why did... I don't get that part. But whatever, I guess. I don't know. Oh, fine. Braden looks over, his eyes asking for more. Was that really from high school? Yeah, it was. At our school. You get to keep your uniform after your senior year. Oh boy, that's great. Who doesn't want to keep their sweaty leotard? I knew I probably wouldn't use it for much, but there were a lot of memories from wrestling throughout the years, so I wanted to hang on to it. I brought it with me when I came here because of the wrestling program. I didn't know if I would need one for tryouts or not, and I didn't even know if I wanted to try out. So you knew about the wrestling program here? Yeah, I did. Anyone who's ever wrestled in high school knows about this school's wrestling program. But I can see how you wouldn't have noticed because you don't care about wrestling. So why'd you hide the singlet though? Why didn't you just come out and say you're going to try out for the wrestling team? Braden sighs. It's a lot more complicated than that. It didn't start out that way. If I'm being honest, the better question here is to tell you where all those items came from in the first place. And that means telling you about Ernie. Okay. I don't remember any of the other items we got other than... what was that? The singlet. What else did we even get? And now I'm getting flashbacks to when we smashed the glass. Glass pane covering up the showers. Dude, that's so weird. Are we gonna have to come clean about that here too? Whatever. Let's see, and I nod in agreement, almost forgetting about Ernie again at this point, between the complexity of our interwoven lives and Ashley's chaos earlier. So they posted flyers for the wrestling tryouts on the first day of school. It was something I was interested in, but honestly didn't think I had a chance of competing at this level, so I didn't say anything. But I met Ernie there at the poster. It was a long story, but he was interested in the program, and had like zero experience. Honestly, he was pretty bad, but don't tell him I said that. I nod in indifference, knowing that it was unlikely I would ever have another... Wait, I'm reading it in Braden's voice still. I nodded the indifference, knowing it was unlikely that I would ever have another conversation with Ernie in my life. So, it was like a day or two in class. I can't remember now, but Ernie was like begging me to teach him stuff to join the team after he found out my high school record. At the time, I was still trying to figure out how to trick you into messing up that thermostat. One thing led to another after Ernie literally said he'd do anything to help me out. I asked if he wanted to dress up like a janitor to play a joke on a friend of mine. He agreed to do it and got way too into the part. Okay, so he's just like a really serious method actor. You gave him the role and he just made it come to life. Once you gave it to him, it was out of your hands. You couldn't do anything. He's probably right now impersonating the janitor, even though he doesn't even have to. I was outside the classroom when he was talking to you a couple times, and I have no idea where he came up with that stuff. Hell, I started to believe him after a while. But that's when things got out of control. Between him overreacting as a janitor and begging me for more opportunities to help, and me sort of dropping hints and stuff to bring you and me closer together, I crossed a line. Have you ever suddenly stopped in the middle of something and looked around and wondered how you got to that point? Like you're ashamed of getting there, but somehow secretly okay with it, but you don't want to admit to it? You know, you crossed a line, but you're not really sure when it actually happened? Nope, I wouldn't know what that feels like at all. This entire conversation has been about that. Yep. But it started with Ernie just giving you a couple items. Oh, like it's an RPG. Was supposed to just be the screwdriver, but it got out of hand. I saw the Slim Team flyers about the same time, but I kept forgetting to tell you until that one day when you were making fun of the bathtub commercial on TV. We talked about the swim team for you and the singlet just slowly... Wait, we talked about the swim team for you and the singlet just slowly became a natural progression. So did Ernie actually hide all those things in the locker room? No, I did. I usually drop them in because I leave for class before you most days. So you left everything then? The singlet? Even the playing cards? Oh yeah, he left playing cards in there. We did strip poker once, I think. Yeah. Was just a matter of leading the conversation in those directions? Wait, it was just a matter of leading the conversation in those directions, and you seemed to go along with it. Why didn't you just, like... Why'd you have to... I don't... See, none of this still makes sense. Why did you have to leave the playing cards in the locker room? Couldn't you just said, hey, I have some playing cards, and then you could lead it from there? I don't know. It's weird. I couldn't believe that you didn't catch on. Like, what are the odds of us having a conversation about an item we need, and then you magically go and find it the next day? It's a video game, Braden, okay? I snicker, surprised by my own stupidity and inability to connect the obvious dots. I guess real life doesn't really happen like that, does it? Heh, not really. Sorry I tricked you though, Zack. I really am. So what do you want to know? Actually, that's pretty much all I want to know. Thanks for the talk. I think we really bonded today. I'm not sure how to ask this. How awake were you when I violated you? Just ask. It's not like I'm editing anything at this point. I'm already pretty ashamed of everything that's happened so far, so it's not like you're going to offend me. Fine. So, like, how did you know I touched you that night? Dude, he was awake. Because I was awake. Wait, you were? How else would he know, Zack? Yup. I thought you slept like a rock or whatever. I do. When I'm asleep. I fall back into silence, briefly feeling the tables of accusation shift towards me. So if you had to, say how many times you think I touched you during the night, how many times would that be? Just one, right? Yeah, that's right. Now I'm not sure what to say. Same. Which has been the problem all along. We both did stuff that we have mixed feelings about now. But we just ignored it and pretended that it wasn't an issue for so long that it became almost impossible to comfortably bring it up. Yeah, but you're right. I touched you first, and looking back, I just feel creepy now. I didn't mean to, except you did. Well, if it makes a difference, I was kinda okay with it. I look over at him, surprised. We know, Braden. Come on, I had to be if I just admitted I was awake at the time, right? That's pretty much consent. Well, I mean, that's retroactive consent, I guess. That's how that works. I mean, I guess. Well, look, I had mixed feelings about it, okay? I'd never really done anything like that before, even with my girlfriend that I had. I just don't like her like that. I couldn't get close to her sexually because of her personality. Yeah, I'm sure that's why. But when you did it, it felt different. Something came over me and I kind of wanted you to do it. Mostly because of how close we'd become by that point and I trusted you. I guess I just wanted to know what it felt like to be touched by someone you actually liked. I look over at him, studying him, realizing there's a certain logic to what he's saying that I really can't argue or deny. And you know you didn't actually touch me. You were just looking anyway. Did I? Whatever. We tried to touch. Can I tell you something? Sure. I touched you back. Like, actually touched you. Like, a lot. While I was sleeping? I frowned. What do you mean? That same night, after you went to bed. You creeped over first, but after you went to bed, I did the same thing. Oh god. This is a mess. I think that's where the experimental college side of me kicked in. It had been forever and I was really pent up anyway. The fact that you got so close but didn't actually touch me or anything only made me more curious. So I touched you back that night. The difference was I actually grabbed you, dude. I wish I was awake for that. Why didn't you wake me up? I stared at him in disbelief. You grabbed me back while I was sleeping? How did it feel? Pretty good? I did more than that. I sort of got caught up in it. Ooh, you gave me a little jerk around. It felt cool too, to be desired by someone. But at the same time, I couldn't tell if you were awake like I was. My mind kept going back and forth. And I didn't stop when I should have. The wet dream that night. I thought that was a dream. Definitely wasn't, because you busted all over me. My face flushes. Sorry. His eyes twinkle as his guard relaxes only briefly. It's okay. It was an experience, I guess. I definitely don't regret that part. I may have snapped a pic of it too, dude. What? Is that what you're so afraid of on your phone? Girl, that's what you're afraid of people finding on your phone. You're afraid of me finding out that you snapped a picture of me. Oh my lord. I stared at him in disbelief. Is that why you were so panicked about losing your phone? I guess Zack doesn't even care. No, I promise. I deleted it, Zack. I had some other pics on there, though. I raise an eyebrow. Don't ask. I nod, realizing that as honest as Braden is being now, whatever's on the phone is probably the least of our worries between me and him. But I like the idea of making someone I really liked feel good until I realized you were asleep the whole time. Then I felt terrible, so I just went back to bed. I just got caught up in the hormones. Woke up, even pen up, and may have used that pic until you almost caught me. That's when I deleted it. Oh dear. Gotta do something about this. Alright. My mind flashes back to the bathroom stall. I don't even remember this, but I guess this was a long time ago. Braden's expression confirms. Yep. I'm not proud of what I did. I still feel really weird about it. But I did it, and I like you enough that I want to be honest about that now. I understand why you didn't stop that night. I'm pretty hot, huh? I understand probably better than anyone would. I wanted to tell you because at first I thought it was just like a primal sexual thing. But then at the bar you told me you really liked me. Then I felt even more guilty about it. It became even more of a secret. As the days ticked by, it just got harder to admit it, so I stuffed it down deep inside and tried to forget that it happened. Silence. It's a long silence. You can tell we're both taking it all in. I genuinely didn't mean to be that much of a weirdo. I nod and find myself speaking before I even intend to. Me either. We both sit in silence again, but it feels more healthy this time. There's a lot to unpack here. Yeah. I didn't mean any of this. For what it's worth, all the emotional stuff that I've said before, I still mean all of it. I don't know. I just got lost somewhere. And apparently horny as F, because there wasn't enough privacy here for me to, you know. Oh my god. Have mercy on my soul. I don't need this. No one asked. I nod back, remembering when I walked in on Braden in the dorm room, when he sprayed the wall behind him. I noticed. I'm sorry I turned out to be the weirdo roommate, because all this time, it seems like you thought you were the pervy one, but it was actually me. I can't help but deny that I feel a sense of relief by Braden's confession, but it doesn't make me feel any less guilty. Can I say something too? Sure. What would you think if I told you that I'm the one who took down the shower wall? Yeah, that was me. I took a hammer, I just smashed it. Oh my god. Wait, are you serious? Yeah, with the tools that your fake janitor gave me. Heh, well damn. I wondered what happened to that thing. I didn't see that one coming. Guess I deserved it, huh? Looking back, yes, you totally did. It's just so weird. I guess it got us closer though. Yeah, actually it did. The conversation falls into silence again before Braden finally speaks. Zack, do you hate me now? I stay silent for a second, knowing the answer but searching myself for anything contradictory. No, not at all. I feel like I should be angry, like I'm mad because of the lies from both of us, and I feel like things got toxic between us when we didn't really intend for it to. But I think that's probably bound to happen in a lot of relationships. No one intends to be toxic, And a lot of time we probably ignore things until they snowball into something that's unstoppable. Honestly, I feel a different way about all of this, and it's kind of embarrassing, I guess. What? We both took advantage of the situation for our own reasons. We're both sitting here openly admitting that we feel terrible, but we kind of liked it at the same time. Yeah. So maybe we're into the same thing. What? Like, like violating each other's consent while the other one is sleeping? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hot, right? What do you mean? If I'm being honest, I actually feel a little closer to you now than I did before. And I'm just now starting to piece together why that's possible. Honestly, for me, I think I've always gotten so caught up on the secrecy of my sexuality that everything that has anything to do with sex has become taboo for me. If I was uncomfortable with being gay, of course I'd be insecure about the things that I find arousing. And even though I trust you with almost anything, that still wasn't enough for me to tell you about this. And honestly, you seem the same way. Yup. So here we are, sitting in an empty gymnasium with our antithesis. What's an antithesis? Like a perfectly mirrored reflection, only opposites. Wait. What? A reflection is the opposite. Already. So if you said a reflection, but the opposite of a reflection, that would be the same. Zack? Like, how can I be angry at you for doing the same thing that I did? For finding the same thing arousing that I did? And for being just as impulsive as I am? Like, hearing you admit all the same things that I struggled with makes me feel like this is the most non-judgmental conversation I could ever have. What do you mean? What I'm saying is that if I trust you with this secret of this kinky/impulsive side of me, I should be able to trust you with anything. I guess that actually makes sense. Can I make a suggestion? And there's no pressure to go along with this. Sure. This stays here, all of it. It stays in the gymnasium, and we never talk about it again. I guess, I mean... It's not like it's not like any of this is actually a big deal, but fine. I'm not interested in comparing who did worse. I just want to move forward. I feel better now that everything's out in the open. But I want to start the mending process, and I can't do that if this is still open. I want to start the healing process, and I vote we leave it here. I don't hold any grudges against you, and it'll mean a lot to me if you don't hold any against me. I sit and think long and hard. Ironically, this is what I've always dreamed of, isn't it? Someone to know all of those weird, nasty secrets about me and still be cool as close as we are. There's a certain bond I feel from this, and it's odd. I really don't know how to describe it. Deal. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. For everything and all the sneaky crap. By the way, can we still do all that sneaky crap? Like, can I peek on you while you're sleeping and you... and you get me off while I'm sleeping? That'd be cool if we could keep doing that. Same. I'm sorry I hurt you. I didn't mean to. So, we leave it here and it never comes up again? Never. We smile, the weight of the world lifting into the ether. Let's get the F out of here then. I want to leave this as far behind me as possible. Sounds good. Well, guys. Their relationship is stronger than ever. They look strange in the moonlight. Do they not? They look like vampires. Anyway, I don't know how much longer is left in this update. Will the next episode be 5 minutes? Maybe. We'll find out next time. So, I thank you all for watching. And in the next episode, I don't even know what we'll do next time because, like, everything's resolved. Obviously, we're not going to get framed for burning down the building, as Braden already explained. There's no way that that's possible, that fiddling with the thermostat caused the fire. What else? I mean, everything's been... Well, don't actually have Braden's phone, do we? Do we? No, we don't. So the coach still has it, I think. Because we never got that before we left. So strange there, but... seems everything's fine, pretty much. We just have to go and get it. I guess. I don't know what else to do. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.